All right. So how I like to look at these, if this is your first time watching, is I like to start with who's dominating, who's kind of in the middle there, and let's see who needs a little bit more support, a little more help. What I can already kind of see here is they don't use a landing page. Oh, wow, I'm super wrong. I love it when I am super wrong. That's fantastic. I assumed that they had built this thing out. I haven't been in the market for siding. I try to stay focused on one thing, and then like when you're on the call, you can talk about their options. I wouldn't introduce that here personally. There is just so much on this page for people to get lost in that we're specifically looking for windows, right? 25% off all projects. Why is that not in the ad? Why is that not in the ad? You're wasting a lot of space, and you're also doing 3 column, which I haven't seen in a very long time. That's like early like website type stuff. Hey everybody, Justin Rondo here from InvisiblePPC, and today we are going to be talking PPC and specifically giving some feedback to some local PPC funnels. This time around, we're going to be looking at kind of the siding and window niche in New Hampshire. And New Hampshire holds a very near and dear spot to me. I was born there, grew up there, went to college there actually. So love me some New Hampshire. So let's take a look at like what's going on in there. So we ran this for a week every other hour. So this reveal kind of look at like, who is showing up in the Google Ads results. We found 27 unique competitors in the greater New Hampshire area with 168 unique ads. So let's take a look at the keyword after to see. And again, if you're new to this, when I'm talking about these things, make sure that's there. When I'm chatting about PPC in general, if you're trying to get a better landscape on your competition, better thing to do is go after kind of your most generic keywords to start, right? This isn't how you'd run and manage the account. You'd want to make sure, go a bit broad, see who's advertising, and get an idea of like what they're showing up for. So we had 4 keywords we were just taking a look at here: window installation, siding contractors, window replacement company, and siding installation. If I were going to turn this into some kind of ad campaign, I would have these separated. Siding is very, very, very different than windows, but this was just a kind of a quick and dirty that we actually ran for one of our prospects, and I wanted to share kind of what I shared with them with you. All right, so let's take a look at some of the advertisers and how they're performing. Okie dokie. All right, so in this area, and to break down actually this initial chart is the first 10 are going to be showing kind of like in the like your top 10, then you're going to see your bottom 10, right? Because there's over 27 there, so you're not going to catch everybody that's in this whole thing. And you can see there's there's 2 folks that are really just getting most of the visibility here. So again, visibility for these keywords, or so these keywords only. So it's not saying in all of search this is what they're doing. And it's also for when we were searching for it during that period of time that at least one of their ads had shown up each time we saw it. So yeah, dang near 100% for Universal's Window Direct. Then you see a real stark drop off, right? You have people kind of in the mid to high 30s with significant drop even there until it gets to very, very, very inconsequential. A couple of ways to use this type of report. One, if you're an agency who's trying to find ideal prospects, man, like you're probably not going to try and pitch Universal Windows Direct. I mean, they'd be a great account because I guess they're spending a ton of money, or at least they should be if they're going to be showing up all that much. But you're probably going to be hanging out with the people that have, invested and paid before, but might not be getting the results that they're looking for. All right, so let's scroll down real quick. We have a nice little table here to kind of break things down a little bit further. See, like, are they showing up for all keywords? Yep. In all locations? Yep. Ad count? Yeah, they're 42, so 25% of all the ads that we saw were theirs. Average ad position 1 it's dang near number 1. So they are just outpacing and outspending the rest of the competition. Let's sort by this real quick. So very low percentage. These people are getting up there, but then now when you're getting into the high visibility areas, yeah. Okay, cool. So let's start. I want to see what these guys are doing. Let's see what Universal's Windows Direct, like, let's see what their ad copy is looking like. And then let's see like what the rest of their funnel looks like. So let me go into that. There they are. Locations. All right. So this is in Hillsborough County. That's actually where I was at. So, all right. So let's see what these guys are up to. We have them sorted here. Let's take a look at the keywords that are coming in. Siding contractors. Cool. Siding. Now we're into window. Perfect. Now they're into the Windows side of things. So yeah, I mean, let's start taking a look at some of the ad copy and things that are going on here. So, New Hampshire siding contractors. All right, so let's look at some of the copy. So siding contracts is the keyword. This is great that, you're seeing it right. Again, it's being reiterated in the ad. So you're going to get more engagement when you're doing that. If you have, if you're inserting the keywords into your ad copy, people are going to know, like, hey, that's exactly what I was looking for. And, you know that whole, I forget the name of the phenomenon. I really need to look this thing up sometime. But it's like, say if you're like, hey, I'm going to buy a Mini Cooper, and then all you start doing is seeing Mini Coopers everywhere. That's kind of what happens when people are searching for things. And except it's less implicit and it's more direct, because they are just trying to make sure and check the boxes like, okay, these people do what I'm looking for, right? So you have New Hampshire siding contract experts. Okay, so they're kind of claiming authority. $1,000 off full siding jobs. Cool. Okay, so hey, if you need a reason to work with us, it's gonna be, you'll save $1,000. Great. Get the best siding deals in New Hampshire. $1,000 off full siding jobs plus 0% interest financing. That's good too. Then they get into talking about them. Premier siding company in Manchester, New Hampshire. All right, Manch Vegas. Let's go. Window installation is also included there. They probably don't need to include that in this at all, because if you're separating these things out, make sure your ads are going to be focused on. Because when you're separating these types of things out, make sure like everything is kind of in line with the types of keywords you get there. Let's see, I knew they were going to have this type of iteration where they're going to go 0% interest financing. They're going to be, having different types of copy and headlines to work through there. So that's all good. New Hampshire's siding experts, excuse me. Just another approach. They're reiterating siding. That's cool. $1,000 full siding jobs. Okay, so you can see they're going to that same well in terms of like expertise, reiterating installation, and kind of going between the 0% interest financing versus the $1,000 off full siding. But these two are getting the lion's share of their views from their ads, from their group of ads at the very least. So now I'm kind of curious, like if you're seeing, if this is your first time coming through here, one of my biggest tips to give to literally any agency or company that's running ads on Google is to have a dedicated landing page. Not a homepage, not like a services page, not like an SEO centric page, but a landing page, something that is designed to evoke an action, that next step, whether it's a phone call or a form fill or whatever, right? Or anything that you can think of. Those are probably only two things you can do unless you're buying things. But a lot of the stuff we look at when we're reviewing local funnels on the paid side of things are going to be in local lead gen, right? So what I can already kind of see here is they don't use a landing page. So maybe like this is a weird kind of domain they set up that's just for landing pages. My guess it's not. But let's take a look at this. Oh, wow, I'm super wrong. I love it when I am super wrong. That's fantastic. I assumed that they had built this thing out just to be going to their homepage, but they seem to have their stuff together. All right, so let's bring this back and remind you, siding contractors is the keyword, and they're reiterating siding contractors, saying it's $1,000 off full siding. Let's see what they say. New Hampshire's best window and siding company. Again, probably don't need to go to the window. My guess is they're using this as a catch-all for both, because if we say service of interest, boom, there it is. They're really going for a catch-all here. It makes sense when you do this. It's going to be more powerful if you're speaking one-to-one, but it's more to maintain. So I get it. I get what you're doing. I do want to see if they have a different number for different campaigns. 1 second. Let's take a look. 384-904. Okay, no, same old stuff. All right, so let's keep going through the page. So family owned and operated, transparent, honest pricing, A plus B. Yeah. These are all kind of table stakes. Anytime I think those are good, but you're not even talking about like the $1,000 off the siding job. Like, granted, it's harder for you to do that because you're using a catch-all page. I totally get it, but what were look what people are seeing. $1,000 off, 0% interest financing. None of that is here, right? You need to make sure that what's showing up above the fold, the first thing that they're reading, is consistent with the ad that they had there. Because frankly, if it was the $1,000 thing that got them going, which likely wouldn't be the case, but if that was what did it, you're not reiterating again and maybe like, oh, maybe I missed out or something along those lines. So let's keep scrolling. Okay, so yep, call or request a free estimate. I'm guessing, oh, that's interesting. Make the up here. I was just checking this while I was reading because, can't do one thing at a time. You have your call now button that's working. I'm not going to click it because it might call immediately, but it's a weird URL. Make sure that any phone numbers, make sure those are clickable as well. And then request a free estimate. What happens? Okay. It just brings me, it's hot linked on the page. Okay, cool. All right. So now we're getting to trust. Cool. Current special offers, get 500 off 5,000 off. Okay, so they're reiterating that down here. That's not as powerful, but I'm glad that it's actually in second position on the page. That makes things a bit better there. Finance your project at 0% interest. Cool. I mean, that might be something you'd even toss up. And again, since it's a catch-all page, if it was just a siding landing page, I'd have this right at the top in almost like a warning bar type thing that's saying, hey, $1,000 off or 0% financing or something along those types of lines. All right, let's see here. People, I'm assuming, okay, these aren't people you worked with because you're just preferred contractors for these. Might want to state that. I'm having to think a little bit too much. Last company you'll ever call for your, I get the point of this type of phrasing. But you don't get cute, be direct. It's you don't need to kind of go that route. This is going to be an inconsequential thing that people are going to probably scroll over anyways. Trust our expert team for your next home project. You're talking about you a lot. Universal Windows Direct is a premier external remodel company in Manchester, New Hampshire. We believe in constant. I think what you might want to break out is this into a couple of different sections where what you do, who you are, versus trying to put that all together. You might be missing out on some levels of clarity and making it harder for people to scan, because scanning is winning. That's just the nature of it. Why our clients love working with us. Awesome. Nice and easy. Good reiteration. Boom. Current special offers. I would have a CTA reiterated down here. It's nice that you have this here, but I even forgot that you had this sticky option. I'm excited to see what this looks like on mobile as well. High quality siding or windows in your home. Okay, cool. So kind of just showcasing a portfolio. Befores and afters work best, but this is doing a pretty decent job. Call now for your free estimate. Boom. Service areas, proudly serving Central and Southern New Hampshire. Epic, yeah. And then you have kind of that map set up. So this is a really, really great page. I was not expecting you to have this, so that's awesome. Let's look at the mobile variant. All right. So nice. You're not in a lot of cases, people have everything, their logo, their Better Business Bureau, their whatever, everything kind of pushing this down all the way, which is not the way you want to do it. New Hampshire's best window and siding company. Again, you're still kind of, you could probably be a little bit more direct there. It's siding jobs. I don't know, whatever. Great. You're getting in the form. That looks all good there. You have your call now. Call for a free no obligation estimate. That's awesome. That's just kind of hanging out that whole time. And yeah, everything else is pretty good. There's still some scanning issues on the page, but this was a lot better than what I was expecting. I think I've looked at now in this series of things, probably around 25, 30 different ones just from this perspective. The agency's worked with way more than that. We've worked with thousands of clients, but a lot of them aren't using landing pages. And so this is a really cool thing to see that you are doing that, because you're paying a lot for clicks is my assumption. If you're going to be ranking 1.1 and kind of just crushing total visibility. So really, really great work there. What I do want to see is, let's go to the same place here. My guess is yes. Okay, and that's why, because they want to have one central point regardless of the keywords coming through, which could be hurting conversions. But again, I don't have that data, so you actually might be doing just fine. But the more one-to-one you get with the offer, the better. All right, so now let's take a look at another opportunity here, and let's get out of these. We did 94%, cool. Let's go down into the 30s. Let's get somebody that's kind of doing a little bit more there. All right. So new pro, I want to find somebody that's a little, because I don't know this space that well, so I can't see who's a national brand. I want someone who's actually kind of local, but let's see. Let's do new pro. Let's just see what they're about. There you are. Let's take a look. All right. So these folks are showing up for siding installation, siding contractors, window replacement. Right. And then it's interesting to see some of these things coming through. Siding contracts, New Pro Siding New England, anything else? Okay. So newpro.com, micro siding, and then they're throwing in a UTM, at least a source UTM for Google PPC siding in that URL. Siding, New Pro Siding, cool, 50% off installation, nailing it. Straight and to the point, leaning in on the brand heavy here, which is fine. Then you kind of like start looking over here, New England Siding Company, 50% off installation. That's probably a little bit better for them because, anyways, unless you're really going off of a pure brand setup. Siding systems offer unparalleled energy efficiency, save money on energy costs. So a lot of those things, like if you can say, like, I mean, 50% off installation, that's great. Like save, like install with or siding with New Pro, say like save on installation and energy costs, like something like that. Depending, you have to cut that down. I'm not going to wordsmith that right here. But overall, like they're standing out, they're being specific. Because again, you don't have to be cute about things. Another thing to point out is you're making sure to see some extensions, some ad extensions come in, which is great. Make sure to be using those if you're not, because that's a good way to push your competition down. So let's take a look at their landing page. Again, this is a keyword siding installation, New Pro Siding, 50% off installation. Let's check the page out. All right. So again, kind of a pretty decent looking page here. I think it's more of a, okay, so it's not a one page setup, but kind of a microsite type deal, which cool. I'm super curious now. Let's see. Yeah, okay, then you have their whole website. So they really pared that thing down. That's fantastic. So yep, what they did was they made sure to really kind of keep this focused. So let's go around the About Us. Let's get back to the actual page. So so this is where you land. When you click on that, flash sale, save an extra 5% this week only. Okay. Cool to see. And so when you start scrolling, that's interesting. Get a free quote just follows you. That's smart. 50% off labor plus 12 months, no payments or no interest. For what? Yeah, for what? You might want to mention siding here because remember, like, just let them know they're in the right spot. I mean, you can see the house there. I'm sure you can infer it. But for what? You do talk about house siding here, but this is going to catch people's attention most likely. One recommendation too is like the lighter the section, the more likely the eyes are going to be drawn to it. So if this was a lighter section, they'd actually probably read this first. Something to think about there. Fill this form to get your project started. Cool. Get a free quote. Nice. Let's keep scrolling. Okay, so then these things are popping up. Beautiful, energy efficient home siding. Awesome. And things that are going more than 4 lines, even more than 3 lines, make sure you utilize bolding to make sure if there's anything that you really want to be pointing out in there. New Pro's energy wall siding systems are, I would bold energy efficient, maintenance free, and like these first things, and then let them scroll, let them see the thing that stands out to them, and then they'll read the next part. All good stuff. 50% off labor plus home. Amazing. What are the difference between these? 50% off labor plus 12 months, no payments or no interest. No payment or no interest, or 0%, or 5 years of no interest with payments, or 0%. That's, I haven't been in the market for siding, but you might be, I try to stay focused on one thing, and then like when you're on the call, you can talk about their options. I wouldn't introduce that here personally. Inspiration gallery, love it. And yeah, then you're not just putting random pictures up. It's not like acts of random siding. It's a, hey, these are our sidings. You're just qualifying that. All right, delivering happiness around our time. Cool. What our clients are saying. Awesome. I would go bigger on like the arrows for things to point. Like not everybody knows these are going to move things across. Arrows people do. Oh, I really like how you did this. Kind of show, where you're all at. Durable high performance house siding. There you go. Get your free quote. Awesome. So let's take a look at this as a mobile page because most of the people that are coming for this are probably going to be coming from a phone. Let's take a look. All right. So we still have this here. So microsite stuff that is set. I don't think that links anywhere, but that's fine. Get a free quote now. What happens? That's going to bring me to the quote page, I'm guessing. Nothing happens. Interesting. I do like at the bottom. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it brought me to the quote page. Quote page is fine. You might want to even throw them to either a modal or something on the page itself. I like how you have at the bottom in very clickable areas because remember when you're doing mobile phone, like hardest areas to hit, top corner, like top opposite corner of what like their hand. So top left for me if you're a lefty, top right. So keeping it nice and close, smart. Again, just harder to scan through it. But yeah, no, this is done well. This certainly wasn't an afterthought, which tends to be the case if you're not working with people who know what they're doing there. So hot diggity. Lots of great stuff there. I'm curious. Let's go to, so we have siding. Let's check windows. Perfect. So utilizing the same template. I like that. Same stuff's going to apply, but that's me nitpicking, to be honest. And again, 50% off labor plus 12 months notice for what? For this, right? You're making them connect the dots there. That's just a little odd. Just something to consider. And then, you have two nav bars at the top that are saying, hey, you have not only this 5% thing, but you have this as well. What's Max Series Windows? Okay, yeah. So then you're kind of breaking things through there a little bit more. I don't know how much you need all these in there if you're just trying to get the quote or the phone call. Might want to be pushing for that. But that being said, really great stuff. Nothing really kind of like harp on too much. I know I was being a little nitpicky. But even then, like, again, I don't have your conversion data. It's probably working just fine. I think you could make sure to stay consistent between, your H1, so your headline and the campaigns. So like what they're seeing in the ad. But other than that, really, really solid stuff. Okay, let's go to the next one. So let's go take a look at our advertisers. Alrighty. All right, so we got to take a look at what was going on with Universal. Then we did New Pro, who lots of visibility, some other great stuff here. I want to take a look at, let's go Renewal by Anderson. That one seems fun. So again, these guys are getting a decent amount of, they're getting a decent amount of visibility, but you want to make sure, that you're maximizing that visibility. So let's take a look at some of these things. Window installation. Okay, so not too many ads that we're seeing through here. So they're kind of being super focused on the ads that go out. Window installation, replacement, window. Cool. They're not doing anything with siding, so this should be nice and easy and straightforward. So Renewal by Anderson, copyright, get a free window and door quote for a window installation. So yeah, you can get a quote for free, like for windows and those things. Probably want to talk more about like window replacement or window installation more specifically there, versus kind of waiting on this to do the trick. And then this is also kind of getting ellipses out, so you probably want to add in some more context there. Yeah, I know you're going big on Renewal by Anderson. Yeah. People will probably care a little bit less about that unless you're running branded ads. So just something to point out there. Cool. Local window and door experts. Nice. You keep bringing up doors when people are coming in for window replacement. Just something to consider as well. I'm not sure if people do that all at once. Again, not in that specific industry. But let's see now. Let's see what the page is looking like. My guess is it is a home page. There it is. That's what I was waiting for, the dreaded home page. So this is the first time where it's like, this is like normally the first thing I see is going to be a homepage on this, but homepages are where clicks go to die. And then, we have a triggered pop-up. Let us help you get started. Which product are you interested? What would you like done? Cool. All right. Kind of a lot of stuff going on. The reason why homepages aren't really some of the, what customer in my area are saying. So interesting. I'm in Texas. So yeah, versus, what they're seeing up in the New England area. So at least they have some interesting things in terms of, let's change the location in New Hampshire. Let's go to 063. All right. Let's do it for Nashua, New Hampshire. Your Boston window and door replacement. So cool. They're using, and I like the how they're using the map. So this is obviously now, it's a national brand here. So, but that's doing work in local spaces. The problem with landing it on a homepage is just there's so much to do, right? You have people here. It's like, hey, I want a free window and door quote or free window quote in that case because they're looking for window installation. Welcome to Renewals by Anderson. You don't need to welcome people to your site. You don't need even to bring up your name at that point. Talk about what they want. You can do that more specifically on a landing page. Like I get it if you're kind of trying to do that with the brand, but you don't need to, because what you are, insert location, window and door replacement experts. If this was just a landing page, it'd just be, window replacement and installation. and then kind of what your offer is and breaking those things down. Like there is just so much on this page for people to get lost in that we're specifically looking for windows, right? And the first time they'll see it is probably going to be, maybe they'll see that because this will catch probably the first bit of attention. Maybe this will. And then this might get a look there, but you're not going to be, you're going to have a more confused person, because the first thing you want to do, and the last thing you want is someone confused. Confused people don't convert. And you really want to get them thinking about, what's that quote, right? Get a garage door quote, free consultations, right? A little bit different than those. So you want to make sure there's consistency between what you're doing there. Then, you have this whole thing up here, still talking about consultations. If that's the verbiage you're using, you might want to consider that here as well versus quotes, but you want to make sure that's consistent, and just really honestly get yourself a landing page. If you're an agency that's kind of like working with companies that kind of do this, I know that happens a lot sometimes, like you give a franchise or you have other folks that just are kind of stuck with either home pages or service pages. I would highly recommend showing like what some of the competition's doing, not to just like flat out copy it or anything like that. There's a reason why landing pages work. Like this will work. This type of page is going to perform better on your ad, like not against your homepage in everything, but when it comes to pay-per-click and advertising, it certainly will. It certainly will. So just something to consider there. And I think they have that. Ooh, this one's interesting. So this one goes to the window, just the actual like replacement page. So here's another thing that a lot of people will do is they'll send them to like a service page versus like a dedicated landing page. And still talking about scheduling a free consultation. I believe they still talked about getting a quote here, so they're not talking about quotes all that much. And then they're kind of really just getting into almost productization of the types of windows. And then free consultation, design this window. Okay, so it's really not a cut and dry like journey, right? You're requesting brochures, you're calling, you're consulting, you're chatting, you're doing all these things. People are going to get lost. A lot of these pages here are meant for SEO. So they're trying to get this to rank so you don't need to do it for pay-per-click. But yeah, it's a little overkill, a little too much for what you're trying to achieve here. Like this is generally people who are like, oh, I'm not sending it to my homepage, I'm sending it to a landing page. It's generally one of these types of pages, which is very, very different. I hope you can see the difference between this type of page and this type of page, right? Very, very different. This one's designed for one particular action for the most part. You have kind of some of these other things here, but it is reducing the number of actions or acceptable actions that they want. Here, it is all over the place. So they're probably getting a lot of leakage on the conversion stage where they could be doing significantly better. All right, so let's take a look at one more. I think that was the third one that we took a look at today. Let's take a look at one more advertiser. Okay, so I want to pick somebody that's like on that lower end area, and so we have a few here. This is what makes me feel like I should stream sometimes. Like even if there's like 3 people watching, they could be like, hey, just do micro clear choice or do like that one. But in this case, let's go. This one's going to have a landing page. I'm just curious what they look like, and I'd rather not beat a dead horse of like, hey, have a landing page. It's super important. Anybody who's seen if you've seen this video, you get it. If you've seen any other video, you know it. So let's take a look at what's going on here. New Hampshire's window, and so let's look at keywords first. Window installation, window replacement, installation replacement. Cool. So they're really only going after 2 of the 4 keywords, which kind of goes after what I was talking about earlier. Like I wouldn't have really grouped these 2 together. Granted, like a lot of the same folks do these, but it is better to kind of keep these very, very separate. So New Hampshire's window installer, cool. You're reiterating Clear Choice window installer is I don't know if Clear Choice is like their brand. Oh yeah, it's their brand. So Clear Choice window installers. Okay. They were kind of playing a word off like your glass will be clear. Okay, cool. So Clear Choice window installers. We install the best vinyl replacement windows throughout New England. Call for a quote. So going for the quote side of things. Home window company, 18 months. So I like when they're calling these types of things out. Like, hey, like what's the benefit? Why click the ad versus just, hey, I saw it. I might as well click it. So there's a reason to do that with 18-month no interest. Clear Choice window installers, New Hampshire window, top New England window company. New Hampshire window replacements. Yep. Okay. So okay. And again, you're not going to win any awards for local business ads, and you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be trying to do that. You should be really trying to make sure they know exactly what they're getting, and they do here. So I'm trying to see if these are all the same. All right. So let's pull this landing page up, and you're going to notice a lot of the landing pages have a very similar format. So let's take a look between this one and this, and that's not a landing page, and this one, right? So let's compare. Let's compare notes, shall we? What happens here? Okay, so those are going to go. So kind of same deal. They have specific pages, financing about a special content. Oh, did we get? I wonder if the same people are working on this. Anyways, because they're doing that same thing. Oh, they're using the same builder. That's interesting. That's cool. When I say like they have a very similar thing here, they have the exact same builder here. Like whoever's running ads for Clear Choice is running ads, or maybe not the ads themselves, but who's building pages for them, same people. But notice how they break this thing down. Telephone click, microsite thing, get a quote. They do that same thing, but they don't have a button at the top. It's all the same old thing. And then you're getting it. It's saying like, hey, spectacular savings. Cool, I guess. 25% off all projects. Why is that not in the ad? Why is that not in the ad? 25% off all projects. People would love that. And you talked about the no interest for 18 months. I like how they bring this up here. So if you're seeing that in the ad, bingo, bango, you're looking good. Offer ends October 31st, pending financial approval. That's fine. Call now. Like this, this is such like a small font type thing. Like it doesn't even need to be there unless like, it doesn't need to be there. Premium Windows expert installation. I like it. Fill out this form below. And this kind of comes back to the same thing. Like when I was saying before here, like 50% off of what? At least I see this I saw this first this time around versus what was over here. So at least I kind of know it's Premium Windows, but you want to connect the dots, connect them. I like this form, first name, last name, email, phone. Cool. I'm assuming everything's required. Trust. They did it. So they're doing customizable blank. So they're making this a bit more scannable. That's nice. When you choose Clear Choice improvements for window installation, your home will benefit from. You could. So this is saying, what it is you get in those things. Like these extra bits could actually be something that you show in a different section, but that's actually fine there. Spectacular saving. Okay. Maybe I just don't know the business when you have these two things kind of separate. Like I would keep whatever the thing you're trying to go after, do that, and then let the sales rep kind of like tell them like what their options are. You want them to make a decision between like working with you or not, or at least getting a quote from you or not. Not, do I want a quote for this, that, or otherwise, right? Try to reduce the decision-making process, okay? Clear Choice Home Improvements, the premier choice for New Hampshire homeowners. Fastest growing home improvement company in New England. Okay, so this is really your About Us section. So you could probably break it down to like why us or like our story or those types of things to like really classify it. For the people that care. Not many people will at this stage. They'll care more later on once they start chatting with you a little bit. What our clients are saying. Like you could probably nix this section if you really wanted to. What people care about is like what clients are saying and where they're at. Inspiration gallery. Yep. Boom. Awards and recognition. You could probably throw those up a little further. When you have this, your savings area, you might be able to throw that either there or between these two. Like the reiteration of the CTA. That's fantastic. And then, what stood out was this mechanism, which kind of outed that's the same builder at the very least, that you have this map set up as well as, the scrolling kind of like, hey, fill in your information at the top, section there. So let's take a look. Mobile, inspect. Yeah. So spectacular saving. So this is where things kind of get problematic. Because this headline here again, like I'm saving on, am I in the right place? Like, what am I getting? Like, am I doing, window installation, window replacement? I don't know if are they the same thing? I'm guessing that they're partly the same. There's probably a little bit of difference. Like one's just putting something in versus taking something out, putting it in. Anyways, all these savings, That is not consistent with the ad here. Like the ad copy should probably be more consistent with this. If you wanted this to be the thing, you could keep this, but like save 25% on all window installation or replacement. Very simple. Don't need to get cute. They'll know exactly what's going on, right? Exactly what's going on. Like you have this in the right spot. And yeah, like again, you had a lot of very scannable things in here. I think you could either kick inspiration or awards, and this is, you might want to look at just how this renders, like probably do this in a 2 or a 3 by whatever, or 2 by whatever, so that's not as long, because no one really, like they're just going to skip. They don't really need that. Then view larger map, and yeah. So overall solid page. Looks like the folks at Clear Choice are, sharing notes, at least with the folks from New Pro, or the people that are running those things are working on the same accounts. So like hopefully they know if you're if that is the case, if the latter is true. Anyways, cool. So as you can see, like we were able to take a look at what the heck is going on in the window and siding niches in the New Hampshire area. There's a lot. It looks like there's a lot of like national brands and franchises that are getting in on the game here. I didn't find anybody that was, particularly a local person. Let's see if I can. Actually, I kind of want to take a look at what they're doing. I was going to do the whole like close out. Here's my recap and thoughts, but I'm a little more interested in like, is there anybody like truly local in here? Anything that says it and Sons has to be. So let's do Powell and Sons and see what they're looking like. And I won't do a full like breakdown. I know people have places to go, but let's see here. They got one Powell and Sons sewing for siding. Look forward to serving your siding replacement contracts now for service. We're still open. That's vote of confidence. And they're going straight to the homepage. And this feels definitely like a, it's actually Powell and Sons. Click here for a free estimate. It's their homepage, but I'm going to look them up real quick. Let's take a look. Powell and Sons, not looking for the ad. Siding. I'm curious what they're doing there. Okay. Yeah, not seeing really anything. So yeah, it's their main domain, but it's just pretty much a landing page. How much will it cost? Take job. Why should I choose? So yeah, so they're kind of doing the thing here, request service. So this is a dedicated homepage landing page type thing. So fine. I would recommend if you're running ads, like to actually have a website people can check later. But this will do the trick for now. Ready to tackle your next home improvement or repair project? We can help. I don't like using questions and headlines. I just don't. If they're here, they're ready to do it, right? You're wasting a lot of space. And you're also doing 3-column, which I haven't seen in a very long time. That's like early like website type stuff. Find the help you need to get your project done. Why us? Yeah, I would probably just blow up this third. Like the image is fine. Like you probably want to do background image with like a lot of what we were seeing here. Like kind of get into that background image thing, get your details in. I like that they're kind of going right away into the bullet list of like why us. You're one step away from connecting with special complete your project. It's just really verbose. Let's see, what was the siding contractors, Powell and Son Home Siding? I mean, lean into local, lean into the fact that you're from the place. Like this is a case where storytelling might actually work. Submit when so how it works. Yeah, you don't really need to talk about how the signing up process works. It needs to be more about like, hey, do you need a siding job done? We want help. We'd love to help. We've been helping people for this long. If we can't do it, we can connect you with somebody that we know that can. So yeah, like if you're a local business that is, trying to get jobs for siding, remind them that it's a siding page, because right now you're talking about home improvement projects. You're not connecting the dots, and you're kind of trying to do a catch-all. So if you're running ads specifically for like siding contractors and talking about home siding, it better have home siding on the page. And let's see if it says it. You don't say it once on the page. So just something to consider there. I was hoping, this is a weird case where man, a homepage might actually even do better. No, I take that back. That's not the case. This is just not consistent at all between the keyword someone was looking for, the ad that they clicked on, and then the page they finally landed on. So cool. All right, so again, looking at kind of what was going on in my, birth state of New Hampshire, for the folks in the siding and window installation area, lots and lots of national brands kind of taking root there. Less on the local side that are getting enough kind of visibility to do some serious damage, or not damage, really get some serious business from this channel. But remember, everybody we're seeing here is paying money to have these ads shown and then to put people to these pages, right? Because you have these national brands that are kind of coming in here, they're more sophisticated. They're making sure that they're having kind of like one-to-one landing pages, right? Where there was some like wiggle room for improvement. It's not going to be things that change things like, they're not going to see a 50% improvement just because of some of the stuff I was talking about. They're probably doing pretty dang good. So that makes it even harder for the local folks there to make sure. So if you're running ads in this area, really in any kind of like smaller area where there's a lot of national folks coming in, make sure that you have dotted your T's and crossed your I's. And my buddy is hanging out behind me, and he's really serious about this too. But yeah, just make sure if you're in a place where there's a lot of national brands going against you, like you need to make sure you're doing the bare minimum when it comes to proper PPC advertising, which is reiterating the keyword in the ad, making sure that the ad is talking about any particular special offers or anything along those lines, and then when they get to the landing page, making sure they know that they're in the right place and things are going good. So with that said, looks like my dog wants to go out, and he is sick and dang tired about me talking about local PPC funnels in the greater New Hampshire area. So with that, take it easy. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have a niche or a location you want us to take a look at some point in time, just drop it in the comments. All right, thank you.